Good morning or afternoon. This is Treasure Goddess's yarn studio, complete with random ducks wandering around in the yard and dogs. So inside here is where the magic happens. Come on along and you can see a tour.
Okay, everybody, so this is the front room of the studio of Treasure Goddess Yarn. And this is where the magic happens. Right now, it's got some yarn drying in it because it's cold, and my usual area in the back is too darn cold for my yarn to dry. So here is some, I believe this is DK Luxe, and this is the Swimmin' with Fishes colorway. Gorgeous baby alpaca silk cashmere yarn. And then I've got some undyed, which I treat the same way, so you can have a lovely color, cream color to use in your color work or just to have. And it's dyed, even though it's not dyed, it's still cooked with citric acid, and then rinsed, soaked, dried with my usual pH rebalancing things, just so that the same amazing bloom will take place with your undyed natural color as it will with the other. And so some more that I have up here is a little bit of Song of the Siren. These are more DK Luxe Song of the Siren, which is actually more of a cranberry wine than what's showing up here on my video. A little bit of Avast Wildcats, some more Swimmin' with the Fishes, Lusty Wench, and Poseidon's Trident. And so I reskein all of my yarn. Even though it doesn't look too tangly or whatever, it still just really makes it easier for you guys to wind the yarn to work from, as well as it just makes me happy. And some little pirate themes. Here you go. She believed she could, so she did. That's basically my phrase for Treasure Goddess yarn. And I believed because so many other people have believed with me. So all of the yarn pirate fun happens up here. Here's where I fill my orders from and work from. My little shipping station, all the goodies. And so up here is air conditioned with a window unit and heated. It gets a little chillier as we go back further in. So I do have a bathroom, which is amazing and lets me do all of my dyeing. However, I only have a 1.5 gallon hot water heater, so it's teeny tiny. And that's where the magic happens. All the dye stuff. I actually do my dye mixing with little old measuring spoons. So just FYI. So the back part is the real thing. So this is an actual yarn barn, a 30-foot by 40-foot monster barn. And I have so much room now. I've dyed in all kinds of little closets and bedrooms and kitchens and everything else. So now I have so much room that I can actually do storage. I have a very small heater / air conditioner that moderately keeps it from freezing, basically is all it is. So this is kind of some of my storage area. Over here is Big Bertha. Oh my gosh, I love Bertha. Bertha is a monster stove, about 50 some years old, just like I am. I believe she's a 1960 something, 67, 68-ish. She's got 4 burners on top, as well as when it's really cold, I turn on the heat by baking and having the doors open. Bertha is amazing. My dye process, let's come back here out of the way. So I've got a whole bunch of, not only on top of Bertha, but then I've got hot plates that I use. And I dye kettle dye techniques. And let's see what's in the dye pots from yesterday. So here's a little bit of Treasure of the Emerald Isle, Treasure Toast sock yarn. I dyed 18 skeins of that along here. Back this direction. I believe I had a little bit more of the, ooh, that's cold. This is actually a turquoise teal. It's showing up as a blue on my video. This one is going to be Mermaid's Curse, DK Luxe, the baby alpaca cashmere silk. And I let them set overnight. Over on the stove, I have 3 pots, so 18 skeins of Land Ho, a beautiful, rich forest green. And then look at all of the storage. I have storage for undyed. I have storage for dyed. I have storage for my dyes themselves. So I have a dye cabinet. Oh my goodness, just having room and places to put things and room to expand It's so much fun. So I use an acid-based dye, so I use vinegar or citric acid depending on the yarn to set my dyes and heat, and I use a combination of jacquard dyes and Dharma dyes and a few other things. And then I've played around with natural dyes with my walnuts when we harvested walnuts at our new farm. So over here's a little microwave tucked away, more undyed storage. Best banner in the world, Treasure Goddess, created from Terry Fibertarian. Isn't that gorgeous? And each one has a fun little bead at the bottom of her Tunisian crocheted banner. Isn't that amazing? I love it. It just sets the whole tone for Treasure Goddess. So back on this end is some of my not yet dyed stock. And as we walk along, when I have everything ready to go, I have things like lace, my yak toes, treasured toes, DK weights, 3 different DK lines, worsted yarn, lace yarn. Bulky is coming. I'm finally getting some from my suppliers. And I have tables, tons of room to set up to dry yarn, some natural lighting. And it's just an amazing creative space, and I love it. And I absolutely love having this opportunity. So hopefully once things settle down and the quarantine, you can see my pots drying and all of my tubs that I use, all of my buckets for rinsing and soaking out the yarn are sitting over here. As soon as things settle down and we're able to travel and get together again, I'll be having more yarn parties out here. I'm just south. This is my little spinner as I jump in. So this is where I, as things are rinsed out, I will spin out the yarn round and round and round, and it helps get the excess dye out as well as excess moisture, and then they hang dry. Big old tub of citric acid, all of my jars lined up ready to mix up, and even a little view out the window. Isn't this amazing? So this is where Treasure Goddess Yarns comes to party. And so I do my big commute of walking across the driveway, maybe 100 feet away from our house, and that is everything. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the tour. And normally when I don't have yarn hanging in here, I can even hang out, sit and knit a bit, which, I was starting to say before, I'd like to be having I'm excited to have yarn parties, and of course yarn pirate needs her pirate hat. Love it. Here's a little sneak peek of some other colorways waiting to be photographed. All kinds of fun things coming from Treasure Goddess Yarn. So I'm hoping to have classes again out here just south of Kansas City, outside of Spring Hill, at basically 199th and I-69. So just straight south of Kansas City. And we'll do some yarn pirate adventures. So enjoy. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate everybody who's been supporting my small business. I can't thank you enough. It's been a crazy year, and I'm so thankful that I'm still in business and I'm still dyeing yarn and sending them all out to my other friendly yarn pirates. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.